be turned down.
All right, you guys are on. I don't know why that's on, but
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Whoa, shit.
We're, still doing shit.
Dude, our fucking thing went to 6 already. That's crazy.
Did it? Who's here? ¿Quién estás aquí?
I don't know. You'll see it.
¿Dónde está Christian?
As soon as we go live, you'll see it up there.
Where's Bowman? Did we send him a link?
There it is.
That is slightly out of focus, I think.
That's a ugly dress.
My pants are in focus. I'm not in focus. Hold on. I shall get up.
I still got nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Do 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 do. Nope. Nope. Am I turned down? I'm in.
Anything?
Nothing. Nope. Well, that's... Oh, yeah. That's about all they're good for.
There he is. Still nothing?
What?
Still nothing, right?
Yeah, I don't have any volume.
Cameron, you got us?
I just got you now.
I wouldn't even know.
Number 1?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, there you are. How you doing?
Doing well, man.
We're
Lots of
running
fun things
behind,
to
but
talk
we're
about
working
on
out the
this
bugs right
episode.
now. But we're live, so you can chat with Casey as soon as he can hear you.
Yeah, I was about to say. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Can you hear me or
What'd
no?
you touch? I told you. Son bitch.
Can you
Like,
hear
there's
me?
only one reason you can't hear it, because I'm muted.
Everybody would mute you, Casey, if they
Although I
had the
don't hear
chance.
Bowman. Is he talking?
No, right now.
I am talking.
Okay.
I'm talking.
Are you sure?
I'm talking.
I can't.
I don't know, man. I don't know how this is so difficult every week. It's like
I mean,
I'm here. I don't know.
what?
I can hear him through my headset.
No.
Okay, I can hear.
I can hear
guys.
me and me only.
That's a little weird. Just shift to. We can
I'm
just.
here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear. No, now I can't hear anything.
Well, I mean, I'm here. I'm
I
sure
can
that
hear
the
me.
audience can probably hear. Crikey! It's the bush pilot.
No. I can't
This
hear.
fuck up is sponsored
there we
by Campuchia.
I can hear now. Yeah.
Campuchia. Great beer made by tiny
Where's
Cambodian
your light? Where's your light? Cameron?
Hmm?
Where's your light?
Oh, I need a fucking light?
Yeah, your face
We
is dark
talked
as
to you
fuck.
last time. You need to get a light on your face so people can see it.
Oh, shit.
What are you trying to hide your identity?
Adele.
He's like,
do you
I'm
mind grabbing me
Batman.
that,
He's wanted in 32
flip-on
countries.
light so I can
Fair.
put it on
Should
my,
hide
and
your
I'll play it on my
identity.
face
That
so they
seems-
can't see me.
Seems
Mask your
like-
voice and everything.
Seems like a lot of countries.
Be having the mic.
Thailand has a lot of reach.
I don't,
Adele
I don't,
is
I
our
don't think they have that
version
much.
I think I'm gonna-
of Heidi from Kill Tony. She,
Can he hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Like, you heard me.
I mean, I can kind of hear. I can kind of hear. I can't hear very well, to be honest.
That's because
Really?
you're deaf.
Well, that's also true.
Yeah,
I
so-
am, and you know what the reason for that is, don't you? Like,
Yeah.
you know why?
M80's in the toilet.
Definitely. M80s
Nope.
in the toilet.
Nope.
You call him left ear.
Girl named Agnieszka. That's the reason for that.
Janelle message.
How is Janelle?
Oh,
Evening, gents. Watching from Pacific. I can't read that.
Surfliner train. He's on the train.
Oh, nice.
oh wow, that's cool. Well, you're quite famous. And
Jenna also says you're better at dim lighting.
Well, at least
Wait,
he's
why is it
honest
not
with you.
What is the Pacific Surf Line?
The train at the coast.
Oh, fancy.
how's that?
Is that the California one?
Is that better?
No.
No.
What better?
How
I
the
can't.
fuck is that not better?
I
It's
can't
blinding
see.
me.
What's blinding you?
I can't see him.
Yeah, I
so-
can't
It's getting
see.
ready to switch over to him again.
You put a light on your face?
You look like like you have a sunken in face. Your nose is standing out, side cheeks are standing out, eyes are dark.
Also, the raccoon eyes are spectacular.
How's that? Is that better?
You gotta give us a minute so we can see it.
Bowman doing his best impersonation of a trash panda.
It's a little bit better on an adjustment, not by much though. At least what I'm seeing on the preview screen.
I told
be
you,
able to
I'm not a
get-
raccoon.
On YouTube, it's
Okay, trash
about the
panda.
same.
Is that better?
No,
Yes.
it's much worse.
Trash panda. Yeah.
All right,
No, I'm deaf because of a girl named Agnieszka.
How your girlfriends have had some of the greatest names ever.
he knows how to choose them apparently.
Yeah, as it turns out, with the exception of one,
Yes, that one.
the Sierra Track Psycho.
Yes. STP, baby.
I never even thought about that, but that's fantastic. So how have you guys been?
Just like the FBI version of
I've been good, man. Busy week at the restaurant. Getting ready. I mean, the season's about like I've got one more week, and then it just starts winding down from there.
Oh, Josephus is on.
Josephus, how you doing, man?
What's happening, brother?
Crystal Beth.
I
I don't know that stripper.
New
Must be a
we
new
got
one.
some other new people in the chat too that should be coming in soon.
Sweet.
Clayton, if you're there, announce yourself, motherfucker.
Crystal Beth.
Question mark?
Have you ever had a girlfriend, Cameron, that would qualify as a Crystal Beth?
I don't know what a crystal Beth is.
If you think about it, it's the girl that would do that.
Don't wait. Don't just wait for it to hit him. It'll take him a minute.
I feel you need to explain it just slightly for him.
Why? If you have to explain
Have
the
you
joke,
seen
it's
his
not funny.
face?
If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny.
Have you seen that? Look at that.
Think Sun Valley, Cameron, not the one in
Oh.
Idaho.
Yeah, no, I know the other one. Never an actual one, but I've been nicked. I've been close.
Okay.
There's been a couple weeks in there where that's happened.
Tempted by the forbidden fruit.
I mean, I think over a long enough timeline, STP would qualify.
Oh, I think at this point she already qualifies. I
See?
think that's where she's at the moment. According to one of my friends, the last time that they saw her, she's got them good old meth teeth.
Them Beth teeth. Got it.
The Beth teeth.
That's what we're gonna call them.
Yeah, I think Crystal Beth is a great name. Who came up with that? Which one?
Josephus.
Josephus.
Yeah,
So how was
shit.
that again?
I'm laughing at Josephus. He's a philosopher of our time.
Dude, that's brilliant.
Wow.
Crystal Beth. I think Jeannot's probably seen me be in some situations with a couple Crystal Beths in my history.
More likely, I'm pretty sure Lane's probably seen it, one or two of them.
But see, Janelle's not a snitch, so he's not gonna say.
He's right.
I'm going to be honest. In large, Cameron knew better than to bring his girlfriends around me.
Because you made him cry and run away half the time.
I don't,
Pretty much.
Remains to be seen.
No, I
He admitted
actually.
to it.
No, that doesn't remain to be seen. That's been seen. That's well documented.
What of your girlfriends have I
also-
actually made cry?
All of them.
All of them.
False.
No, one.
70-30.
Oh no, that was Jeannot actually that made.
Yeah,
that was
see?
Jeannot
Listen,
that made Malika
So
cry.
you're telling me Janelle is worse than Lane?
when it comes to pangolins,
Yeah, when it comes to a people eating endangered species, Snow is much harsher than I am.
But no, I mean, there was there was one I can't remember. It was like in Tahoe, and you
His name was Brad.
Polish.
Say, what did I do?
Why not? Oh, dude, it was. You remember at that point in time when I was dating all like 5 girls that were all named the same name and they all knew about it?
So you wouldn't get confused?
Well, Agnieszka. And so I think you said something to one of them, dude, that just like it popped the cork, man. I can't remember how you did it, but you said something that was like you said you did some like thing about Poland and just in general and how fucking retarded people are.
I don't have anything against Poland.
Wow, what do you have against
Wow, Lane, I
Poland?
can't believe you
Nothing.
do something
You
like that.
dictator.
They buy large amounts of our military hardware. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, we make money off of them, apparently.
As they should, you know.
Is there a second job you want to tell us about? That you-
I don't think I've ever made any of Cameron's girlfriends cry.
That you can remember.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Well, there's been many of them, so it's kind of hard to figure
My
out.
problem is it's never like when I'm actually upset when they cry. It's just some offhanded comment that I thought was funny that really wasn't that funny.
It's probably entirely hilarious, and they took it the wrong way.
I have a hostess that had some problems with physics.
Ooh,
And
I can see where this is going.
right?
she had decided to like, pick on me. She was making jokes, and about the 5th or 6th joke at my expense, she said something about something being complicated, and I simply said, "Is it as complicated as physics?"
So Lane deGrasse Tyson, you were just gonna lay down the physics law?
No, I couldn't because she turned into a giant ball of tears, and I felt like an asshole, and I didn't even mean to.
She deserved it, and it was funny.
No, she's a very cool hostess.
Okay.
She's a really good person. I was like, oh no. Like you say it and you're like, that's a problem right now.
I've seen you do that a number of times. Dude. I've literally seen it on Lane's face where he's just like, he cracks some joke that's like super dry, and then he realizes that he's totally offended the person, and then he's like, "Oh, man, I shouldn't have done that." Like, they didn't, it was made in jest, and then they'll never let him apologize either.
No,
just like, you're an asshole. Like, like dude,
Just
Lane
accept
is
it and move on.
Lane is the worst possible person to be around a snowflake, dude. He'll melt it immediately, like immediately melted, without even knowing he did it.
Internal fire.
Yeah, no, and the facial expression is unmistakable. It's when I don't mean to do it, it comes out, and I'm like, oh. It's like you just kicked a puppy. You're like, oh, that's bad.
So you haven't developed a snowflake filter.
That was how you explained when I punched Holdren in the face, by the way.
Yes, no, that's exactly right.
Actually, you were really mad at me because you were like, Bowman, really? Like, you basically just punched a puppy in the face.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Right. I mean, I should have never done that, He might have deserved it, but still, it was like, what was he going to do to defend himself?
I mean, the result was always going to be so severe. Like, you did it, and you're like, well, it was a hell of a punch. And you're like, yeah, I know. Oh, my God.
So this whole, okay, so there's a couple things. There's the one subject that you guys didn't want to talk about.
I feel like that's not a fight I want to be a part of.
What I said was I would be very careful with that conversation and topic, is what I said.
Like,
well, no, Lane said he didn't want to talk. He didn't, separate message.
All right. Best case scenario, it doesn't get us canceled, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And everything's fine.
Okay.
Worst
Well, no,
case
best case
scenario.
scenario is
No,
it goes
hold on.
viral.
Best case scenario, even if it goes viral. In fact, worse if it goes viral. Best case scenario, we are now standing in the middle of a fight between the two most dramatic groups in existence.
And we're not voicing out
Like,
what groups
if you're
those
in
are.
a bar and that fight happens, you walk up and you're like, I should break this up. And then you go, nope.
That's when you just order another drink, sit down, and watch.
That's,
Well,
the Chappelle thing. Remember when the Chappelle was talking about how he was in a bar and he was talking to some woman and he was just like talking to it. Apparently he didn't realize she was a lesbian and he was just talking to her, and her, as he called it, basically looked exactly like J-Bo, my sister, came up and was like, you're talking to my girlfriend. And he was like, I'm sorry, sir. And then she's like, I'm a woman. Oh shit. Okay, well, it's kind of a similar situation.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar situation. And if I'm being honest, the best thing that could happen to us if we tell this story is that no one watches this episode.
Yes, and we don't have the clout to deal with this at this time.
I mean,
oh come on, guys.
they said it was a
we
sick
gotta
ostrich.
push the limits a little bit here.
We-
and I think the guy, I think the person that is actually that is part of the story is probably watching right now. So,
I mean, if he is and he gets in the chat,
If he approves it,
if he starts it, I'll allow it.
all right, fair enough. We'll
Super
wait to see
comic.
if he's in there.
Yeah.
I won't name his name when it is. Hopefully, he has another email or something. Dude,
So-
it was so funny. Like when it was like the best example of how retarded. Sorry, I'm not allowed to use that. Oh wait,
no, we're not allowed to use that.
Fuck you.
Not on YouTube. That is one of those forbidden words.
I meant retarding the timing as a DJ.
Fire,
You
it's
know,
like fire retardant.
Yes, retarded.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we went. That's what was meant to be. I was retarding the timing on
There
on
we
a
go.
DJ
Nice
set.
save. Kind
Yeah,
of.
I tried. a little late, but yeah.
The Old Forester crushes the mystery glass.
Nice. So
Crushes.
you asked how I was doing. I was driving up after work, and I stopped to get tacos and all that. I'm driving up the mountain, and I get stuck behind.
Wait, we have to stop at tacos. We're like, because my brother died on his way across the street on New Year's Eve trying to get a taco. That fat bastard, and he never got it. So what kind of tacos?
Listen, I
Let's
got
talk
my
about
tacos.
Not the kind of
Not the
tacos
ones-
that would celebrate someone's.
Yes.
it. Where were they from?
I get my favorite drunk tacos.
You might as well just spill it.
I
now.
want to see if he knows it. He lived
Del
in the
Taco?
States. No.
Del Taco.
It's Jack in the Box tacos. They're cheap. They're
Oh,
easy.
God. Yeah, I brought Adele to Jack in the Box when she was there. She's from Australia, right?
Oh, why would you do that?
Driving. Well, because I want. I feel horrible for saying it out loud, but it's true, and she's sitting right over there. And I wanted her to experience the absolute worst of American culture. So we're driving on the way from LA up to the desert to go do a fucking festival, like go production and side operations. And I stop at this Jack in the Box, and I'm like, because back in the day, the Jack in the Box tacos weren't so bad, right? So we stopped.
They're
at
still
this
not that
place.
bad. Lane enjoys them every once in a while.
We can bring him in.
He's only had them like 3 times in his life now.
There's a difference between requiring sustenance and enjoying something.
Yeah, he said they weren't. He said they weren't that bad, which is pretty good for him.
I had my bougie ass food for the day.
Exactly.
I had a Wagyu burger patty with aged cheddar melted on top, and then topped with potato puree.
So what I had to do was get him the bougie, trashy tacos.
What'd you do? Go get some truffle salt from the restaurant? What the fuck?
Nah, I brought in taco sauce with it.
Oh, taco so.
Oh, dude, truffle salt on a fucking Jack in the Box taco. Now that is definitely.
I did have. I
Get
think
trouble
Janot will appreciate this, and the rest of you make fun of me on my Wagyu patty with aged cheddar and
Oh, yes.
stolen potato puree recipe from Joel Rubichon. There was a
yes.
pad of truffle infused compound butter melting on the top.
Oh, and did you and Reginald laugh at the smaller peons while you were enjoying it with your 1967 Bordeaux?
I just wish Lane would make a fucking psychedelic mushroom fucking butter.
That's
instead.
never gonna happen.
I don't know, man. You never know.
Not of his free will.
The night of young.
I don't
Night of
know. I
young,
don't feel like the flavor would be there, Cameron, if I'm being honest.
That's why you mix it with a truffle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Because truffle overpowers everything.
All right, so going back to where I was driving up the mountain and I got stuck behind one of the Tesla trucks, and in front of that Tesla truck was a van, a white van, a white kind of close to being candy kidnapping van.
Candy kidnapper.
I had to say it that way because I can't say the other term.
No, I get that. I actually like candy kidnapper a lot. I think that's pretty good.
But he was driving like he was going by like a park. He was that slow. We were going 25 up the mountain, no issues. There's nothing on the road, and he's going 25. Well, a California Tesla guy decided to stomp on the gas and go around him, and he swerved. And the Tesla guy gave him plenty of space, and I'm just like, why did that guy swerve? Was he doing something not good in his candy van?
Because he's driving a candy van.
Oh,
He's trying to keep a low profile.
Oh, the candy kidnapper van.
I mean, you think they would have moved on to another vehicle.
I mean,
The candy van kind of stands out at this point.
yeah, I mean, you would think so.
What do you use?
Listen,
Between
the-
is this
but-
gonna get deleted again?
between the two of us, if someone who doesn't know us is looking at the two of us,
Yeah,
who do you think they're going to accuse of driving that van?
Kevin.
The key word was the two of you, not me.
I would
Kevin?
honestly say Casey for sure.
I would not be accused of driving a candy cane van.
Probably 'cause you couldn't
Maybe a
fit in it.
taco truck, but not a candy van.
That's how he gets all the Hispanic kids tacos.
If you're gonna candy
Oh
cane
my god!
someone,
Hey, my-
free tacos works way better than free candy. I'm
That
just
was a
saying.
joke from my grandma once. I'm gonna leave it there because that was her joke.
Cue
That's
Josephus.
fucking hilarious. They've all been deported now anyway, so Casey would not have anybody to get in the van with.
Casey's so lonely.
What? No, I sell,
Okay.
for the record, I sell tacos in Canada. Thank you very much. They can't get them there, so I got the market
So, Lane,
cornered.
You're the lawyer of the bunch.
Not a
Careful,
lawyer.
not a lawyer.
Yeah, not a lawyer, but you're the one that
He's
studied
legally
how-
educated.
Yeah. So what's the
you're
question?
educated. You're just too lazy to take the bar exam. But
It's probably
the-
accurate.
but so with this USAID thing that's been going on this last week, like
Mhm.
it's pretty mental, man. Like, so can you dive into a bit of that?
I mean, I would need to see a lot more. Obviously, in a program like that, you've got a couple things going on. You've got some, we'll call it malintent. You've also got probably a significant amount of waste. And you've got some stuff that, it's sort of morphed into actually doing good things.
Actually, the best description I saw for this was that scene from The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the accountant guy is yelling at them for spending all that money. He's like, "What the fuck did you spend $40,000 on champagne for?" And then it cuts to like Leonardo DiCaprio just says USA, like USAID on him, and he's like, "Well, we had the dinner with the clients and the thing, and Big Pharma was there." It's like $450,000 for a fucking dinner.
Dude, the guy who is the actual Wolf of Wall Street is a really interesting guy. If you ever get to see him on a podcast and stuff,
Right.
That guy's wild.
Here's my thing. USAID definitely needed to be audited. So does a significant amount of what the government does. I don't know that Elon Musk is the person to do it. This is my problem.
Oh, whatever, AOC. Is that who you are now? Have you gone transgender and you've turned into AOC?
So
That's
Josephus
mean.
made a comment. The bar exam is just legal limbo.
Yes. I mean,
actually
it is actually a very low bar, if we're being honest.
Are you saying I could pass it?
I have no doubt that you could pass the bar exam with the right education.
No, good. I
Dude,
don't do well with
how many
education.
times?
Wait.
How many times have I said it
you-
here? The law school is not intellectually challenging. It is just voluminous. It's just the most painful marathon you've ever had to run. That's all it is.
Oh, we studied for it with you.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had a professor. I didn't have him. He wasn't my professor. He didn't know me from a hole in the ground.
Fair.
But I was Dr. Dornberg, standing outside his office, talking to a professor that I actually liked. And we were joking. I had a really good relationship with this one professor. We're joking about whatever. And I was making fun of law school, as I did regularly. And at some point, I was like, well, I mean, you know what law school is, right? Like, it's not, and, you know, professor I liked goes, I'll bite. What is law school? And I looked him square in the eye. And I go, law school is the most competitive memory game ever devised, followed by 5th grade level compare and contrast essays. And he was dying.
I mean, you're not
At
wrong.
that same moment,
Dr.
Dr. Dornberg, who's 5'5", screams out of his office, cleanly pressed button up, looks like he's about to go into like court in DC where it actually matters. Pressed collar, you know, perfect little collar stays. And I mean, he's pretty pale, but not now. Now he's red. Red like the color on your shirt. And he's just screaming at me. He can barely reach me. And he's screaming at me. And behind him is the other professor who's now laughing even harder. That
I
annoyed
can
him.
only
Did
I can
he?
only imagine.
I'm guessing
like,
he just
what-
sat there and watched.
We wanted no part of that. Again, you want no part of that fight. You're like, nope.
Grab me a beer.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch.
Get the popcorn because this is going to be fun.
The professor that I liked, you'll appreciate this, Cameron. So he is one of the top craft beer attorneys in California, which is to say one of the top beer attorneys in California.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So his brother actually owns a brewery, like a very well-known brewery. So we're telling this story. Now, rewind a little bit. I knew that at one point he was an English professor at Cal Poly. But that wasn't relevant to this story
Yeah, he wasn't there at the time.
at
right?
the moment. So he's talking to me. He's like, yeah. He goes, I remember when I got into craft beer. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, what got you into craft beer? And he goes, well, when I was a professor at Cal Poly, starts like it's all clicking now. He goes, there was this place, and they did this flavored pale ale. And I go, the blueberry pale ale? And he goes, yeah, how'd you know? I go, slow brew. And he goes, yeah. I go, when perchance was this? And he gave me the date. Like, yeah. So I was the general manager of that brew pub at that time. And one of my bartenders served you your very first craft beer.
Yeah, interesting. A slow brew. So actually, I didn't realize this until much later. One of the people her name's Luna J. She's a really good DJ. She's a house DJ. Really cool chick, man. I worked with her a bunch later, but I guess at the same time that you and I were in San Luis, she was actually like DJing around, and somehow I never caught her at Slow Brew. Like she's been DJing forever around there. Also, my buddy Sean Crandall, his DJ name is Sparky because he's also an electrician. They both were DJing there. And you remember I was producing events there, so it's funny that we never crossed paths. Isn't life weird? You know, like it's so strange. Like we were all in the same place at the same time, and it's a very small town, but yet we never crossed paths until Santa Barbara.
It's a
You know what I
small
mean?
town with very distinct silos in the groups.
Oh, it's clicky as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to cuss, am I?
No, you are.
Yeah, it's just like the first 30 seconds you have to be careful
And,
with.
and you can't, like, if it becomes pervasive, they throttle you
Okay, well, fair enough.
or de-throttle you, as it might. I don't know. I've never understood why they use throttle in that way.
I would choose bottlenecking. Wouldn't it be that more?
Aren't they the same thing?
Right?
No, throttle would be the opposite. Throttle makes it faster.
But they
Bottlenecking
also
would
use
stop.
throttle as, like, slowing down, which I've never understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a backwards comment. It's like it's weird. It doesn't make sense to use throttle like in that specific in the English language for that specific thing.
It's
Well,
like the
my
new
opinion.
meaning of literally.
I mean, it is Google. They
Yeah,
doing their own
half
thing.
of
the
Google's
time.
run by AI anyway, so what does it matter?
So let's talk about Lane's new favorite word,
Which one?
kooky.
Oh,
Mhm.
what's wrong with kooky?
Oh, just it sounds like cookie.
Oh,
And also, how did that end up being part of your vernacular? Because I've never heard you say that before until the last 2 weeks, and now you say it all the time.
I don't know. I haven't said it tonight though.
No. Well, you did
Not
a second ago.
You do use the word though.
I do use kook.
Yeah.
It's because some people
Are kooky.
are best described as kooks.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
It's the polar opposite of a spook.
Like they've not.
What the hell, man?
No.
Spooks are spies.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think spooks could also be kooks.
No, that's true. Spooks can be kooks.
Yeah.
We're
But
not allowed
kooks
to
can't
say
be
spook.
spooks.
Why not? Oh, come
Well,
on. Knock it
mean,
off.
I think you're aware of the reason.
Well,
Also, you mentioned earlier in the episode coon. So
I did.
Nobody said that.
I said raccoon
yeah,
and
you
trash
said it
panda.
looked
I
like-
never shortened it.
First of
The
all,
colloquial is yours, sir.
Yeah.
and first of all, Spooks is a British TV show based on MI6. So,
Yes.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll just leave it at that. YouTube.
We should leave it at that.
Of course, in America, we call the show MI5, but I don't know why.
So I just realized that Janot actually said at the end, he said Bowman is the light. He's actually better in dim lighting. I didn't even realize that. Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose that's probably true. I ain't the prettiest motherfucker you ever see in your life.
True.
Oh man. So what else is new aside from the
Hold on.
US
I'm going to step out for a second.
Well, so I was at work and one of the guys was talking about hearing a noise behind him in the middle of security checks the night before. And he turned around really quick and nothing was there, but he was worried that it might have been a mountain lion. I like tormenting people. So today, one of the female youth program officers was going to do security checks a little bit later. I like sending people spooky things. So I sent her some stuff on skinwalkers and in our area where they've been spotted just to mess with her. And she refused to go do security checks, apparently.
Why don't you just get a mountain lion paw print and just push it around the dirt?
I don't have to do that because there's pictures that we have posted up that we've had mountain lions in camp.
Well, yeah, it's mountain lion territory.
Skinwalkers is actually
It's more Native American, Northern Native American.
Yeah.
And we
It's like Choctaw.
we're actually surrounded by Native American land right there.
Really? So what is it you're doing there? You run like summer camps or some shit, or what or winter camps, I guess?
So I work at a camp with residents that are court ordered to go there. It's more like a rehabilitation camp to kind of adjust them from drug use, bad behavior, and like working on their angers and all that. So we have a bunch of courses like ART is aggression replacement training. T4C is thinking for a change. So they actually start thinking before they're acting. And we reinforce these through progressive discipline, which is like you give them an essay if they're doing something wrong. And then if they refuse, you can shift it to a negative, or you can give them a cognitive, which
It's like
means
Cameron's
they have to put
kryptonite.
more,
Write an essay.
right? Means they have to put more effort and thought into it. And you're giving them questions that they have to answer. And if it's not to par, like they just wrote a sentence and called it good, you have them redo it. And if they refuse, an IR is one of the next steps, which is a persistent pattern incident report. And then they go into it for 7 days. They can't like play any games. Like we have a game night. They can't play any board games. They can't participate in the movie. Then we do treatment movies as well, which they can still participate in. But that when you go into IR, you have to do a bunch of other documents, filling out different forms every day. And a lot of them hate it.
So essentially, this is exactly where Lane needs to go.
In what way?
Like to
For
be
his
for
anger
corrective
management.
behavior.
Oh, for his anger management, yeah, for sure.
How
you
did
know,
you not get that, Kevin?
No,
Jesus.
because I was thinking about it, and I'm like
That just
to
went
work
right
there.
over your fucking head, dude.
No, in my brain to work there, because usually, like me and Lane, if I got into a spats because I poke at him, and sometimes he comes in extra angry. One day he did, And I called him out, and I called him out and said, "What's up with your pissy attitude?" And he's like, "My pissy attitude." He got kind of uppity about it.
I thought you meant Lane should go there to fucking beat up kids.
That's
and I was
what
like, that's
what
kind of a
he
good
thought.
idea.
I thought like work. I'm like, okay.
Fucking
I don't understand what's
Drill
happening right now.
Sergeant Lane over here.
But
No,
yes,
it's-
all
I
our
do.
brains went different directions.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand what's going on. I cracked a joke that went over Kevin's head.
Yeah, and Casey's. Casey thought it was beating kids.
No, I knew what he was talking about. I just thought that would be funnier if Lane was just going there to beat kids. He's like, enough with this huggy bullshit. We're about to get real. You could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
When in fact, half
was-
of them can't dodge a ball.
I feel like we just walked into major pain.
We have a Clayton. We have a Clayton, I believe.
Shit.
Let's see.
I mean-
I think he just wrote me.
Major
Are
pain.
you there, Clayton?
He hasn't
Right
said
there.
anything in the chat. It's just Josephus and Janelle. See, I'm getting his
Where-
name setting in there now.
Where's Christian?
It's a good
I don't
question.
know.
know.
Did we
Did you message him?
Did we tell him?
He knows it's
Yeah, he
Saturday
knows now. Yeah, it's
Eh,
Sunday.
maybe he's on a
He
trip.
might have thought that 10 o'clock was permanent after
Ah.
last week. That would be my fault.
Clayton, write us in the chat, man, so I can see if you're there or not.
Clayton or Clinton?
It's Clayton. Clayton. Yeah.
That just
I
sounds
mean,
like a.
not to dox him, but
Well, I mean, you're just saying his first name. It's not like you're giving his whole story.
no. Well,
You're trying to, but it's not going to happen
well, no,
unless he says go.
the thing about Clayton is so him and I have been basically hip at the hip for years and years and years, and he's been my right hand man for basically everything I've ever done since I started Poison. So he's fucking hilarious. So yeah, he's hearing it. So right in the chat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, Clayton, you should ask some questions and we'll see what happens when you ask them. Like about stories.
Maybe you could throw him under the bus with some
Cameron
good stories too.
desperately wants to tell this story.
He does, but we're not going to let him unless it's approved by you. That way, it's not entirely on us.
Well, it's still going to be
Yeah.
on us. It's
Kind
still a
of.
fight I want no part of. But listen, some creative boundaries have to be broken.
Yeah.
Dude, the old, I don't know. Okay, so I will say the old Forester barrel pick, there's a slight, like, overcharred wood on the back of the tongue. Everything else about it's amazing.
I'm having a problem
which
with it with
number
this
is that?
cigar. The nub.
He just wrote me.
It
He just
has a
wrote me
weird taste.
personally. He said, "Tell the stories." So
Listen,
Clayton,
unless
I
there's
was-
proof in our chat, it's a no go.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen, if
so
he's
Clayton-
texting Cameron,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, it depends on what story Clayton. It depends on what story Clayton wants me to tell. But I mean, it's
look, we're just listen. If what comes next offends you, write us.
There's a cool button.
He said he
if-
can't join the
at-
can't join the chat for some reason.
Is that because he
At-
doesn't have an account?
www.itscameronsfault.com.
Dot
Yeah.
U- that's dot
So
UK.
Clayton,
Dot
if
UK.
you're-
Is it the UK over there?
Dot UK.
so Clayton, you're hearing me. So let's just get your approval. You're writing me here. So
Allegedly.
so can I tell the story about the club in
yeah.
Denver?
Fine. I mean, are you guys okay with it?
I'm asking Clayton. I
Oh.
have to ask Clayton.
I mean,
first.
I'm okay with it. We're gonna have to dodge
He
some
said
bullets here.
He said I have the full approval.
Please be mindful of the snowflake audience in this country.
Make sure you screenshot that and send it to us so we can throw it in the on over your picture.
The,
Yeah, I can do that.
the snowflake algorithm.
I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. Nothing we can do about
Hold
that.
on. So that's the thing is that okay, I'm gonna screenshot it right now.
And then-
This is what he-
Then we'll
he
put it
said.
in after
We're just gonna
in
edit it.
post.
You have to understand, Clayton is probably the
Oh, nope. Sorry.
I mean,
Josephus is
Josephus
already
is
offended.
Oh, we have it in the
I get this
chat.
Call, right? I get this call. Oh, Adele, by the way, sorry, real quick. Adele, I left all the beers in the freezer.
Go save my beers from the
Oh.
freezer and
That's-
tell.
Can you save the, can you save the beers from the
Conveniently,
freezer?
he's sending her away before he tells the story. Look at
And
this
I'm
guy.
and I'm empty. Well, she's our own personal Heidi, dude. So I get this call from Clayton, right? Like it must have been like 3 a.m. his time, and he's quite confused. Thank you, my love. Adele just brought me.
Where is Clayton? Do we get to know that?
I think he's in Denver right now, but he lives in. I mean, he can tell you. I don't know why he can't get into the.
It's probably because he hasn't signed his account up in there yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Cambodia
yeah, I'd
beer?
love for him- Yeah.
You've downgraded,
Cambodia.
Cameron.
You
I'm
have.
disappointed.
No, I still have Gansberg for later.
Oh, you're
Oh,
saving
there
it.
he is. I was on Safari and it wasn't working.
That's fucking dude. This is
Well-
This is probably my best friend in the entire universe, dude.
What you get for
Okay.
using
So-
Safari?
This guy, he called me up the other night.
Does he know that he's
And
named after a spy?
I don't know. He said he had my approval again. So, so he's like, he calls me at like 3 a.m. his time. I'm guessing he was in Denver, Colorado, and he had just come back from this gay club, right? And this is like a gay club. It's not like I mean, you can go in there if you're like straight or if you're a girl or whatever, but it's meant for gay men, like super gay men.
So it's-
If you
it's-
want free drinks, you can go this place if they
So
really like you.
It's the Blue Oyster Bar.
So what he goes in and he's there, and he's because Clayton lives in San Diego, but he travels around. 'cause
Really
he
quick,
works
Clayton says, I'm named after a blind white supremacist. It's a gay sports bar.
That's dude. That's the greatest. That's the Dave Chappelle joke, dude. Clayton, the Dave Chappelle, the Clayton, the black blind. White. Dude, this is why this guy's my best friend in the world. So he tells me he's like, and he's drunk, man. He bought pretty much every IPA in all of Denver because his liver works like ours, obviously. And so he's like, dude, he's like, I'm in this gay club. It's super gay. We're all talking about tops and bottoms and what we like and different stuff. And then I'm talking to these two people, and he's like, he accidentally misgendered one of the people and didn't even like. So there's a person that's transitioning from being a female to a male that's in a gay club. And my first thought when Clayton said this was, well, how would you suck his dick if they don't have one? Right? That was my first thought as soon as he said it. And so they proceeded to be like, they were apparently quite nice about it, but also they were like, it was like all of a sudden Clayton's whole night had to change because he had to like, they're like, excuse me, it's they, them, not he. And he's like, oh, okay. And so now we're in this situation where you have this dude who's like in a gay club, and there's a woman in the gay club that's transitioning into a man that doesn't have a dick.
Clayton has an excuse.
and
He says, it was not my fault. It was 2-for-1 drink night.
Exactly, bro. So, dude, when he was telling me this story, I was like, dude, this is so funny because like this has gone so far as to where like, and I said this to Clayton earlier, is like I grew up obviously with everybody knows I hate my fucking sister because for very good reason, but also I did grow up watching her get attacked by people and spit in her face and all that stuff, fighting for gay and lesbian rights. And so it's weird to me that like now all of a sudden there's gay clubs that are being infiltrated by trans people that are demanding that they say, that you use their pronouns. Like that to me is a very interesting thing because I mean these people, like gay people, my sister, all through the last like 50, 60 years, whatever, fought for the rights that trans people now have. And it seems almost to me like they have no respect. So that's just that's the end
story.
of the not joke.
That was not a joke. I mean, it is sort of, it would like, I was just thinking, as that happens, everyone standing around is immediately confused.
They all gasp.
Well,
What's
dude,
going on?
It's like, I mean, it's like the thing that happened with me with the two girls that just started
Oh, your
fucking
MAGA
yelling
hat.
at me because I was wearing a red hat. Like I was wearing this hat, which is a mixed up hat. That's the name of the bar I work with. And it's like that's all it took to just like ignite them. So everybody's just, it seems like what's weird to me too that's happened recently, I've just noticed it, is that I can't go anywhere without somebody getting into a political argument with me, even though I don't want to talk about politics because I'm American. So the first thing that happens as soon as I'm American, all of a sudden they want to talk politics, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, I really don't care. And I keep saying that, and they're like, well, you should care. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I mean, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah,
And so this
you're
is
in
kind
Cambodia.
this kind of yeah, and this is all the way in Cambodia, dude. You know what I mean? It's like it's and so this is because I'm in Siem Reap. There's a lot of foreign travelers that come through, but it seems like over the last like maybe 3 months, I can't have regular conversations with people because I'm American. They just immediately want to attack me about politics, and I don't care. You know what I mean? But that's weird. It's really the first time it's ever happened to me in my life where I'm just like, because I'm American, I must be an asshole and I must have done all of whatever. So I'm
That's
like
fair.
basically carrying the weight of
See,
America on my
Yes.
back wherever I go.
I'm the opposite
Have you
because
thought about
someone comes at me for politics, and I pause
And then doubles down.
and I go, "Are you sure you're ready for what comes next?" Because I
Well,
really
the
like
problem
this part.
for me, yeah, I mean the problem for me is that most times it happens because I only really go out when I'm like DJing or
Yeah.
doing a gig. I don't really go out unless that's what's happening. So usually when I'm in the position where people talk to me and they want to talk about all that stuff, I can't just be like, I can't do the lane, you know, doing the lane or the Trump, you know.
Well,
I
hey,
can't do
don't
because.
don't put me in the Trump category.
But anyway, the point being is like I can't because it's just I have to be nice. So I just end up having to all the time be like, oh, I don't, you know, I'm not into politics. It's not my thing. And they're always like, oh, well, you should be into politics because you're American. And I'm like, oh God, where do I go with this? I got into a point where I don't even know how to exit conversations.
The easiest way is just tell them that's why I'm here. I left because I didn't like the politics.
well, maybe you should adopt an accent.
I've tried that, dude.
I've
tried.
Bowman, I have told you what the easiest way to exit those conversations
Is make them cry,
Yep, leftist tears.
Left the tears.
which I have seen. And,
Or
Wait,
just
you're married to an Australian woman, right?
I'm not married, but yeah.
Well, your girlfriend's Australian. Why don't you just adopt the Australian accent, your little bush pilot thing, and just go for it?
Crikey.
yeah, yeah.
I might.
Just adopt an accent.
I don't care about no fucking politics.
Back to clean.
Just start apologizing a lot and tell everyone you're from Toronto. They'll just feel sorry for you.
I actually thought about literally
Sorry.
starting to put like a Canadian flag on my get a hat with a Canadian flag on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
can be
perfect.
Yeah, blend in.
I'd be like, how you doing, eh? Everything good? Yeah. You know. But I'm just, dude. I am. It's impossible. for me
Clayton
to act like I'm-
has an idea. Double blink is a good skill to have in those opportunities.
Bogan Bowman.
Bogan Bowman.
Fucking moment.
That was from Jeannot.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah. If I am Australian as a bush pilot, I'm definitely bogan, dude. Like for sure.
It's not a knife. It's
Yeah,
not.
Adele has explained to me what a bogan is, and I am absolutely that.
What's the definition that she gave you?
So, Lane, you're familiar with Sierra Track, right?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine you guys are as well. So imagine, for the rest of the people around, imagine Stockton or Sacramento or Fresno,
Oildale.
you know, Oakland.
Oildale.
Like that's Oildale.
Ooh.
But I mean, you know, imagine Mississippi, like where Anthony D'Annunzio lives, Tony. He, you know, like I would be definitely 100% bogan. We're like tough cunts, like uncouth. We don't, Clayton could tell you, and we're tricksters.
Sounds like trailer park people.
You're a gypsy?
Yeah, essentially like Trailer Park Boys, if you've ever seen that.
I mean,
One
to
of the
be
funniest
fair,
shows
To be
ever.
fair.
if anyone in my life is a gypsy, it's Cameron Bowman.
Yeah.
Yes,
100%.
100%. He has a gypsy wagon.
I do actually have a gypsy wagon.
I know you do. We saw it.
He sells trinkets, reads fortunes. He's a gypsy.
Goes to buy a beer and becomes Squirtle.
Clayton, give us a reason to talk. Tell us, give us something that we should talk about. A story that you know. 'Cause he has some stories about him and I. So if he just does a little ignition, we'll be able to go from there.
He'd have to figure out what they are and think about them really hard. Find a good one, an embarrassing one. Those are good.
He's probably got plenty of embarrassing ones.
Probably.
Is 3
I
the
would
old
imagine.
Forester?
3 is a random one that we don't know.
No, 3 is
3's the old Forester.
no, false and false.
So 3's Russell's.
Yes.
Okay. So 2 is the one we don't
2
know.
is the mystery bottle.
Got
Oh,
it.
see, I was just looking 1, 2. That's why.
Yeah.
Got it.
Kevin got him backwards.
How'd I get him backwards? He set him up.
False.
Yeah, I had him the other way. He's like, nope, this is how it goes.
1, 3, 2's missing. Two is I feel like 2 costs a lot, but it's young.
You really think 2 I haven't tried 2 yet
2
because
is-
I drank 1 with the cigar and just
2
off
is not
taste.
good.
It's
Is it
not bad. It's just nutty. It's young.
Yeah, there's
it's
something in
youthy.
there. There's
Let's see. Clayton says acid with Harry Pope while the sheriff helicopters were circling. LOL.
Oh,
How many
shit.
times have you been chased by police helicopters, Cameron?
More than he should have.
Quite quite a lot. So I'm trying to remember which Clayton. You need to elaborate a bit more. Was that when
You know what?
the
What story in your life, Cameron, I wish I'd been around to witness?
which one?
Was when you'd taken so much acid that you melted into the street in front of a cop car.
Oh, okay. So
In Sun Valley.
so, all right. So, at the time,
wait. You have to describe
That's
Sun
it.
Valley for people. 'cause
All
they
right,
don't
hold
know.
on.
Yeah, hang
Sun
on.
Valley
Yeah.
holds 2 world records. Highest per capita felon rate anywhere. And the single largest contiguous trailer park in existence.
Like kind of people growing up, I guess.
So it's just Yeetville?
so
Just yee.
so Sun Valley is like Trailer Park Boys on fucking meth.
Yeah, no, it's easier than that, Cameron. Sun Valley is Trailer Park Boys meets Reno 911. Quite literally.
Yosefus says I went to Sun Valley Middle School.
We almost crossed paths then. But so I go down to that this is that story. So Lane wanted me to tell it, so I'll tell it.
Well, no, I just wish I'd been there for it because, like, every time you tell it, I think it's hilarious.
So I'm
Like, first of all, that's a mountain of acid.
well, yeah, there's that. So I'll tell this story and then I'll tell Clayton the story Clayton wants me to tell.
Yeah, I'll
So
tell you. I'll
it's-
specify it down for you because he sent out the specifics.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm at the time it's past the statute of limitations now, so I don't care. I was a drug dealer in Tahoe, right? So I'm like 15 years old, and I'm going down to Carson City because there's this, I'm selling weed and coke and that stuff, but there's not really a good profit margin on that. And then there's this new thing called acid, so I'm like, well, it wasn't new obviously, but it was new to Tahoe, and I was like, well, I can buy it for $1 a tab and sell it for 10. So I needed a better dealer, so I went to Carson City. I'm down there. I go meet with in this trailer park that's right. So the graveyard in Carson City, there's a hill, and there's a trailer park right in front of that hill. And so I'm like there, and waiting, pay the money to buy a sheet of acid. right? So 100 tabs, so 24,000 micrograms. And so I wait for like 2 hours, and then they come back and they've only got 5 tabs. It's like this big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
That's not enough.
Immediately, I opened it up and I just put it on. I just was like, we got ripped off, and I just put it on my tongue. And then everybody's face was like, bro, you just took an entire sheet of acid. And I was like, okay, this is gonna get interesting. And so I I wait around, and then it's like starting to hit a little bit, right? And
It was, for the record, he didn't terribly elaborate. Much better acid than he was used to.
Yes, so it was called window pane, and so it's quite famous, and it's an entire sheet of acid on 5 tabs. So it starts to hit, and we go over, and there's this dude. Actually, his name was Tim. He was a gay dude, and he used to get us all our porn mags for us. He would give them to us, and then we would go hang out with him. And really cool dude.
Casey's face is Lane's face is priceless right now.
No, it was a really cool guy. And
No, it's not that. It's just the double entendre there is not unmistakable.
So anyway, so that was where the first time I ever saw a gaping asshole was because he gave me a porn mag with that. But anyway, so moving on, while I'm on acid, I'm seeing that. And then I look on TV, and I've shit you not, this is what's going on. Because I keep hearing all this noise, and the acid's really starting to hit, right? And then we see on the TV that there are police everywhere inside of this trailer park because they found a serial killer in the trailer like 4 trailers down. And they're pulling out the bodies from underneath.
Now, this is really happening? This is on
really
TV?
happened.
Okay.
This was on television.
Okay.
This really happened. They found this serial killer that was in the same fucking trailer park. So we're like, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay. And so we leave, and we're like, okay, we're going to go explore. So we try to get away because there's like 20 police cars. The only way we could get out is to go over to the brick wall that's on the one side and jump over onto Graveyard Hill, as they called it.
Mind you, exactly what you need to be doing when the police are looking for a serial killer is jumping fences.
Well, they already caught the serial killer, at least. So that had already happened. But so I can't get up to the top of the brick wall, right? So because I'm like, as I'm walking, it looks like there's snakes on the ground. The sky is black with a purple sun. The whole landscape looks like The Simpsons. And these guys pull me up over the top of the fence, and they pulled me a little bit too hard, and I fall over the top of the brick wall. And in what happened in my mind was, like, you ever watch Roger Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
Like Roger Rabbit, with like the boom, where like it was like the whole ground sunk. What actually happened is my knees buckled, and I fell right into the middle of the fucking street. And then I saw this thing coming. It was like a giant fucking monster that was just like red and blue with a fucking giant mouth. And I was like, and I like rolled backwards. And turns out that was a cop coming to the scene as well. So then we go up Graveyard Hill. We've escaped at that point. And now it's really starting to hit. Like, really. So we're jumping on rocks and stuff, and everything looks like styrofoam. Like, and I'm sitting there overlooking the graveyard with this dude named Travis, and he just looks at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, "You look like you're made out of styrofoam, man." And he said, and Clayton, you know what this is like. He said to me, the worst thing you can possibly say to anybody who's just eaten an entire sheet of acid 2 hours ago. He said, "You're freaking out, man. you're bugging out. And I was like,
I'm
am
freaking
I?
out, man.
Am I? And so I proceeded to run down the hill, jump the fence, go into the fucking, like, I proceeded to go into the graveyard, and I'm in this graveyard, and the acid's really hitting now. And I feel like I need to hide. So there's a mausoleum. So I break into a mausoleum. And I go in there because I feel like I need to hide from the cops that are still chasing me, this giant blue and red monster thing that's chasing me around. And when I get in there, I'm not even kidding, man. So I broke into it. I don't even know how I was able to do that, but I did it. And there's like 4 coffins, and half of them are completely like decomposed. Like the coffin is even decomposed. They're so old. And so there's just like skeletons and fucking like it was like it was crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. So if you can imagine being on the hardest trip of your life and then ending up breaking into a mausoleum and there's completely rotted out bodies and coffins in this thing. And then I was like, oh my God. And then I heard this voice in my head that said, eat rotten flesh. And I was like, nope. and I got out of the mausoleum. And then the guys had come down in, and then we came out. I don't know how this happened because there's like time gets really interesting when you really start to trip hard. We end up with the cops at some point. And somehow, according to my friends, I appeared stone cold sober and talked our way out of every single situation that was going on. Mind you, we're 15 years old. We're high out of our minds. And somehow I convinced like several cops to let us go. So then after that, we go back to the house, like my buddy's house, Sean. And I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be over now. We all lay down. I'm sleeping on his floor. And then I look at my arm, right? And I'm like, huh? And I scratch my arm a little bit.
This is where the Dukes of Hazzard voice should have come over. It wasn't over.
It wasn't over.
That was only the first part.
So I scratched my arm, and then I literally look at it, and part of my arm flaked off, and underneath my arm was this purple and yellow circuitry that had fluid running through it.
Yes, it turns out he's actually the government issue one, not me.
I don't know. That's hard to.
This was a trip. How is he supposed to know this?
Well, so I'm like looking at the thing, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it's not over at all. Like this is not over." And so I went in and I made the ultimate mistake that you can possibly make. I went into the bathroom and I looked at myself in the mirror. And my face was flaking off, and underneath it was all that yellow, purple, weird circuitry that had fluid running through it. And I was like, I'm permafried. There's a term called permafried. And I was like, I'm never going to come back.
Oh, yeah. One of my buddy's older brothers was permafried.
Yeah.
It's actually incredibly tragic. Like, incredibly tragic.
I was dead certain that was what was going to happen. So I spent the next 7 hours on a toilet. I turned on the shower because the only thing that made me feel like I was normal was looking at the water running down the drain. And 7 hours I rocked back and forth on that toilet until I realized that I needed to go downstairs because it was morning. And so I went downstairs, and my buddy Sean, his mom, came down the stairs, and I'm sitting there with Sean. We're both still fucking tripping. And she looks at me and she was like, are you guys tripping on acid? And I was like, no, miss, we're not. And she was like, you're so full of shit, your eyes are brown. and then she walked into the kitchen. And then 2 seconds later, she came down the stairs again. That never happened. She never said that. And then my mom picks me up, right? And I've got my crate SG1 600 head and my fucking PV 4x12 cabinet because I was a metal player at the time, and I'm loaded into her Suburban, and I'm like trying my best to hold myself together, and we're driving, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I just can't, all I can think about is just trying to get back to my bedroom because I just like want to hide from the world, right?" And she's like, "Oh, we have to stop at the beauty college." Which my mom used to own a beauty college called God, I can't remember, Americana. It's called Americana Beauty College, and I was like, "Oh fuck." Like, so I go in and I'm like, I need to get away from everything. So I go into the back which is where the commissary was, or whatever, where people eat. But in the back, there happens to be like 150 doll heads. And so I'm just laying there, and I look over, and all of these doll heads are talking to me, dude. And they're saying some mean ass shit, dude. Some stuff like, "You're never coming back. Your life is over. This is the end of it. It's all you'll be for the rest of your life." And I'm just sitting there in that fucking room, man. So fast forward 53 days, still tripping. And on the 54th day, I finally came back down.
Project Purple is where we're going next.
Project
Situation Purple. Situation Purple.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just fucking with us.
Okay.
But the Situation Purple, we called him Sitch Purple, dude. That guy was. I don't even know how to explain what that guy was.
Dude, so I was never around for any of your parties in the mountains. But I do remember when, I don't know what to call him, Jet Boat Bear came back from Santa Barbara. The level of hatred that you instilled in him in Santa
It wasn't
Barbara.
me.
Yeah.
It was the people that did
It was the situation you created. Like, there was a level of disdain I have never seen in that human being. And that's saying a lot.
I mean, so that whole thing. So basically, I take a buddy of mine who's one of the, like, he's the one who got me into the whole scene, into Burning Man, all that stuff, and I bring him down to the biggest.
We're just gonna call him Autonomous from now on, because that's
yeah.
I think that's appropriate.
Autonomous.
Autonomous.
I think autonomous. So our buddy Autonomous, right? He's the one who got me into the whole scene. And then he comes down years later. I bring him to the biggest fucking hippie festival that is in California ever, right? And
If this if this were Burn Notice, it would flash a picture of Autonomous up, and it would say, "Not a hippie."
Yeah, for real, dude. And so he was like he came down, he brought his art car, he did the whole thing, and he was on site, and he was driving, and I had gotten permissions from this hippie festival, these fucking lucidity people, and for him to be able to drive around his art car. That was like the whole point. So then he starts getting pulled over every 5 minutes by every idiot in the fucking festival. So he just loses it, mate. He was on site for like, I think maybe 7 hours, and he made all these, like, dude, he took so much time to he took like PVC pipes, and he put on the what do you call them, like the floaties, the swim, like the
yeah, exactly,
the floaties, and he put them over the top of it. So we had like 100 swords. Some of them are red, some of them are blue, so we could have like full on like sword fights with
Jedi
everybody.
battles.
And everybody was loving it, dude. Like, everybody was absolutely loving it. And yeah, they just like completely fucking grounded his vehicle there, and even though they had given the approval, and then he literally packed up him and his mate that was native Paiute native.
I will say, some of his art cars are spectacular.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking awesome.
He's
like,
also one of those people, like, you know how someone will come in here who's been here for like 3 or 4 years and start lecturing us about what Tahoe really is?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those people for Burning Man. Like, you can't lecture him about like festivals.
I feel like that
'Cause he
reminds
knows.
me of
Like he's very much an original.
that reminds me of Pat.
I don't know who Pat is, but that's definitely not the same person.
No, I get that, but he's one of the guys that would say the same thing about Burning Man's not the same.
Well, everyone,
Yeah.
all the original people tell you it's not the same.
Yeah.
Hasn't been the same for
Well,
what,
I mean,
10 years?
we've always every like the whole mantra of Burning Man when I got into it was always to tell every single person that Burning Man sucks and it was better last year,
Right?
so that they don't go. But then somehow Silicon Valley figured out that fucking Burning Man's a thing, and
They figured out the lie.
yeah. So I mean, it's but yeah, I mean, it's like. But yeah, I mean, I've never seen anybody burn out of town faster than that, dude. And then he was telling me also, he was like, dude, he was like, it was so crazy because all the like basically it's like Santa Barbara has basically per capita the most, I would say, most beautiful women usually around. You know, and so he was commenting on that, but he was like, you're all these hippie idiots and assholes. Like, I don't want anything to do with any of this shit. And he was gone within like a day. And I was like, what the fuck? And his buddy left too, the Paiute guy. It was, but
Yeah, he
so-
showed back up in the shop and he was pissed.
Oh, he had every right to be so, man, because it was like he took a ton of effort. He drove all the way to Santa Barbara. He built an entire camp. He built all the swords. He had to construct the Poon Rover. I think it was the Poon Rover. It was you know, it doesn't build itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to build it and take it out there. And then these guys within 2 hours of the beginning of the festival, and he was also supposed to be. He was part of our tricksters crew, so that meant. What happened was he caught some security issue. He eyeballed it and he hit me up because we had our own radios. We have in Lucidity back in the day with Tricksters, we had our own radios that were separate of the Lucidity radios. So I had 2 radios on from Lucidity, and then I'd have the Gunslinger radio, which is like Clayton and all that. And he radioed me and said there was some shit going on, and then somebody got involved with that, and they tried to act like he was the one that caused the problem, and he was actually just the person that witnessed it. And so he had brought it to the attention of security, and then that's where that all went. You know what I mean? Like it was a fucking it was their fuck up, man. They and now Lucidity's gone, and you can probably imagine why.
Well, a lot of those festivals are gone now.
Well, that's government stuff. So we can talk about that. The policies in California that have basically collapsed the entire West Coast West Coast festival scene. It's impossible to do a festival over there. Somebody asked me about this the other day about what it's like to produce events in Cambodia. Is it really difficult? And I'm like, no, because I was like, it's probably the easiest place compared to anywhere on earth. The hardest place to produce events in the world that I've ever worked with is California. California is a fucking nightmare.
Well, California makes everything difficult, though.
Yeah, just from top to bottom, man. And you know that's a shame that people keep voting for this same fucking whatever establishment that they have based on the fact that it's like, are you not watching what's happening around you? Like, you know, like I don't get it.
They're just content with what they have now.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. Lane, you should pipe in on that one.
On California?
And also,
Dude.
Clayton, you should pipe in on that. Clayton, you should pipe in on that if you're still in the chat.
I
Either-
feel like, all right, so this is, I think a lot of the problems in this country stem from, so, okay, if you go back even 50 years, the parties weren't so much conservative and liberal each, right? Like inside the Republican Party and inside the Democratic Party, there were liberals and conservatives. Now, one skewed more one way and one skewed more the other, but there was a wide breadth between the two parties, like inside the two parties of conservative and liberal. They were more focused around like discrete regional interests than sort of like national ideologies. And then we go to this place where we have this sort of national ideology, but it's mostly just corporate money sort of putting up a facade, right? So this is like, if I had to, I don't know who, like, not enough people watch this, they know. Like, I have a massive problem with both parties. I would not consider myself either. There are some things that I'm conservative about and some things that I'm liberal about. Some things where I think the Constitution speaks pretty hard truth, and some things where I'm like, well, that probably changed enough that we should reevaluate what that is. But, you know, the process of changing the Constitution is necessarily slow.
Right.
That I agree with.
Right.
But the Democrats are like standing in front of everybody. And I think they mean well. And they're like, we're doing it right. So we're just going to keep living under this ideology and telling all of you that you're wrong, rather than addressing interest of majority. They're trying to persuade the majority to follow them. And for, you know, every once in a while they're successful. But for the most part, the country's like, no, that's stupid. Conservatives have a different problem. I shouldn't say conservatives. The Republican Party has a different problem. They're standing in front of everybody, saying all the right things, speaking about populist interests and speaking to the majority and acting like there's a majority coalition. But they're just lying. They're like, oh, no, we're going to tell them all this. And then we're just going to go over here and keep all the money for ourselves. Like, we're just going to do these things. We just don't say it out loud. Like, neither party is honestly addressing the needs of the country. One party's like, come with us over here or else. And the other country's like, no, we're going where you're going. But they're not.
So they're just blowing fairy dust and sunshine up our asses.
Rainbows and unicorns, baby.
Rainbows and unicorns.
Well, isn't it also like the massive amount of misinformation floating around these days?
Oh, because that was always the case.
But isn't it worse now?
Well,
It's worse now in that there's no void. When it was newspapers and, you know, a once a night news broadcast, national news broadcast, there was a void, so people were forced to fill it in, and enough people put in the time to research what that meant. They had some idea of what was going on. Now, you don't have to work to fill into the void. You can just go on, like, whatever random shitty news, like, national news channel you want, or any part of YouTube or X, or take your pick.
Right.
And fill it in with someone's point of view that is probably ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
Gansberg.
look at that.
I didn't even see it on camera. I knew it was coming.
German
I just see
beer.
Zeeberg.
So sorry. Oh, Gansberg. There we go. Let me turn it around. There, that's even better. Okay. Gansberg, made by tiny Cambodian hands.
The German beer.
Yeah, I mean, I
Cambodia.
honestly think our country would be better off if national politicians were more regionally selfish, because their interests don't align with other people's interests. And if they just go back to fighting for their communities, we'd be better off.
Clayton,
These sort
you
of
should
like,
pipe up in the. You should pipe up in the about.
Did you hear about the app that is about to launch?
no, which app?
The one this guy just put like 17 million in it, but it's supposed to track the trades that politicians are making.
Well, it's already done.
This is a newer one though.
Okay.
That's like launching apparently. I was like, oh, that might be kind of an interesting app to pay attention to.
I mean, we absolutely, there's a couple laws we need to pass. First is term limits on Congress and the Senate, period.
Right.
Full stop.
Didn't they put that one up for
They always do.
Vote.
It never goes anywhere.
got it.
And the other one is a prohibition on self-dealing. Like, you shouldn't be able to trade stock if you're making decisions that regulate the companies for which the stock belongs.
I thought that's what the FEC was for.
No. So insider information is different and generally doesn't apply to Congress, because Congress doesn't have insider information from the company. They have insider information about what laws are going to pass to regulate the companies, not self-dealing.
I feel like that's the same.
It's not.
I feel like
should be.
Under the law, it is not the same.
Look here, legally, I don't need this. It's the same shit. That's bullshit.
This is my other problem with Elon Musk. A lot of the things that he's like, this is a terrible idea. It's a regulation that will make his company, 3 times more profitable. I can't imagine why you think that, sir.
Golly, I can't imagine that. What do you mean?
I mean, it's I think that with 100% certainty, the American government, at least parts of it, have needed to be audited for so long that it's ridiculous.
No.
Now, whether or not the way it's happening now is the correct way, I'm not going to attest to, but
Listen,
I will say that it was necessary.
I wholeheartedly agree. And it might be that Elon Musk is the person or a person that can audit the processes of the government, but he should not also be able to execute policy. Like they need to be separate, right? So here's my problem with Elon, right? To create SpaceX, how many rockets has he blown up? 80?
A couple,
90?
like one or two.
Yeah.
We blew
I
up
don't actually know.
one rocket on a landing pad, and it almost ended the space program. Like the government doesn't get the same failure rate as companies. And until he learns that, he is creating great risk.
New show segment. A pair of legals.
But yeah, so I mean, essentially, I don't personally, I don't disagree with what's happening right now, but it's going to be interesting to figure out how it pans out.
Well,
Because
listen,
there's going to be certain things that, like you said this before, Lane. You said that there's going to be a point when he's going to basically Elon Musk is going to step on his own dick. And
Listen,
I don't really know if that's going to happen, but if it does, it's going to be bad.
if Trump gets impeached in these 4 years, it will be Elon's fault, and it will be the Republicans that do it. Like, to 100% certainty, I will say that.
I mean, if you okay, I don't know if you watched the whole thing in the White House where his kid was wandering around and whatever else.
I didn't watch any of it. I wanted
Okay, so
no part of that.
So I watched it. It's like a 10-minute address to in the White House, and it's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, everything that they both said, I agree with, but it did feel to me a lot like Lord of the Rings, where that king has the person that whispers in his ear. What's the name of that?
It's I forget the king's name, but it's the second one.
It's like the something they call him something tongue. I don't know.
Wormtongue. That was the character that was whispering to his ear.
Yeah, that was the king in the city with the tree.
Clayton
No.
just wrote me.
Before that, it was the
Clayton.
horse lords.
Oh, the Rohan?
Clayton.
Yeah,
The Rohan king?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there's the one that's like there's the king and there's the guy that like I forget what his name is. Maybe Josephus would know.
That's
Where
the
he,
king.
like,
It's the
whispers
king
in
of
his-
Rohan.
Okay, but what's the name of the guy? It's like Briscoe would know this for sure. But it's like the slithering tongue or some shit. I don't know.
It's
It's
Wormtongue.
Wormtongue.
Yeah. Wormtongue. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so which apparently RFK had a worm in his brain at a point. So who knows? But the Clayton just wrote. Are they talking about? Are they talking about issues from 1994?
Well, he brought up the NASA and Challenger.
No. Way before that. Like
That
the
was
Apollo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was Apollo. Which one blew up on the landing pad? Was it Apollo 1?
Well, Apollo 1, the capsule blew up because they were pumping pure oxygen and something
Yeah.
sparked.
Almost ended the space program.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Challenger was in the 80s.
The Challenger ended the televised rocket launching.
And it was because it got cold that night and some of the gaskets froze, and then the heat
Cracked,
from
yeah.
the expansion
O-rings
caused the cracking.
cracked. Yeah,
The
yeah.
O-rings, and then
Yeah.
and then we also had problems with heat tiles.
Yeah, when they blew up on the way in. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all the way back.
No, you're talking about Apollo 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that blew up on the launch pad because the capsule caught on fire.
Yeah, and it almost ended the space program.
Yeah, that's when we learned
Well, I mean,
you can't pump
essentially,
pure
ended-
oxygen.
it did end. I mean, NASA they did end the space program, and now that's the reason why SpaceX.
No.
is doing.
But like way before we landed on the moon,
Like when we were
way
getting ready to
before
go.
any of that. Like
This is-
like the United States government does not get to fail at the same rate as corporations do.
I think it's 1965 you're talking about,
That's
or 64.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to put this. Look, I don't think Elon's dumb, but I think he's daft. Like, there.
Well, I mean, okay. I would put him if I can pipe in. I would put him not in the exact same category, but I would say in the same realm of Kanye West. Like Kanye West decided, I don't know if you ever saw that Joe Rogan episode where he's talking about how he's God and that Joe Rogan's just part of the universe he's created and all that shit. But like he's not quite there, but it's like sort of the same. Your favorite word, kooky, Lane.
Yeah.
He's sort of kooky, and I mean it's kind of hard to. I mean, what do you like if you get to the level that he is? And I would probably say, in my opinion, that Elon Musk is most likely the most intelligent person currently living on planet Earth.
I mean, I don't think that's right. I think he understands. I think he understands his industries very well.
Yeah, and I think he put a lot of time into making sure that he could figure that out. But
Yeah,
again,
he's also a workaholic. Like, he barely sleeps. He's obsessive. Like, he has all the right character traits to do those, to accomplish things in his chosen profession.
Right.
But I don't think it translates as well as he thinks it does.
Okay.
let's talk about his hair. His coif, as it were. So
I mean, that could be why him and Trump are such good friends. He walked up and he's like, "I really like your hair."
I mean, that's most Americans. They vote based on hair anyway. So you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
that,
Oh, you know, I voted for so and so, the guy with the hair.
if that was true,
Look at
Anson Mount would have been
Gavin
president.
Newsom is the perfect example of that.
Yes.
Gavin Newsom is the perfect example of that. They vote on him because he's fucking good-looking dude. It's like it's the same that they did with Reagan back in the day. Not that I'm a non-Reagan fan or anything, but it's just like
No, listen.
Americans.
I
vote based on
I
vote.
voted for Trump, and I stand by that. But Trump is doing exactly what I wanted him to do. Like, and I'm probably one of the few. Like, I didn't vote for Trump because I liked him. I voted for Trump because there is no better mechanism in this country to force introspection in the government like Donald Trump. Like, he's going to break a bunch of shit, and both parties are going to have to reevaluate themselves seriously and figure out
Well, I
what
mean,
comes next.
He is what, like, realistically, when you think about it and you break it down, he's chaos.
No, it's exactly what he is.
That's what he is. And chaos is necessary in any model of the universe.
Listen, I think
You know?
both parties were walking down bad paths, and there is no better cure for that than uncontrolled mayhem, which is 100% what Donald Trump is.
Did you
Which,
see
by
his
the way-
approval rating numbers?
They're
No.
high.
They are surprisingly high.
But that's almost every president in the first couple months.
Fair.
And I think he's getting a bump just because he's active. Like, he walked into office and started, like, stirring shit up, which I'm okay with. That's what I want him to do.
He did that the first time. I mean,
Yeah, but
he
not like
said-
this. He had a bunch of voices in his ear the first time that were trying to mitigate what he was doing. He's got none of that now.
Yeah, it's a second term, so
But I fully expect we're going to have to fix some things when he's done.
Yes.
for sure.
And I've also, like, 51-49, he gets impeached by the Republicans
How long do you think? Within the year? Within 2 years?
right around the midterms.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing is, when you start digging up the level of dirt, like if you've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos of like senators just losing it, like not even like accident. Like there's so many times that I have seen senators now in videos that are like they do Freudian slips realistically, where they're like, you know, we have a 19-year-old coder and you know the American people and da da da, and then they end up slipping up and saying we don't know what they have on us, and it's like, oh,
You know, I
So
think
you're
that's right.
worried.
Listen, I think term limits need to be a real thing, especially
I
in this
agree.
country.
100%.
especially in
Yep.
the Senate, dude. like the Senate and Congress, like anything in Congress. Like it's crazy to me that that Nancy Pelosi is still even around.
Oh yeah, listen, Nancy Pelosi is not that smart, and by all accounts, she's the most successful trader in the country.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I
Not
mean,
that smart. Hashtag
if you were-
not that smart.
Well, I mean, we were both thinking the insider information, but it's not the same.
If anyone should be investigated by the FEC, it's her.
it's not. It's not insider information under the law.
Under the law, no. But at the same time, if you look at it, that's what it looks like.
Here,
Can
let
we
me,
can
let
we
me,
vote to change the
Let me
law?
help you out. Insider information flows from the company. None of her information is coming from the company.
It's all from political.
It's
action.
all from what they know Congress is going to do.
Yeah,
So-
which is fucked.
so
you know
it's
what I mean?
inside-
When you really
No,
think about it.
inside. the
Is it
policy.
100% wrong? Absolutely. Is it insider trading? No, it
No.
is not.
So what is it? Is there a term for this?
Not yet. There should be.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. Can we vote to change this? This is bullshit.
The problem is they have to vote to change it.
Oh,
Like Clayton's got something
that's
to
not
say in
gonna
the
happen.
chat. It looks like.
Yeah, it says $215 million net worth off of 300,000 salary.
No. I mean, listen, she has definitely been involved in some self-dealing.
yeah. Okay, self-dealing. I like that.
We can go with self-dealing. I like that. Yeah.
And it should be illegal. Like congressmen and senators, because of what they do, should also have to put their shit in a blind trust.
Mm.
That's
Or-
an interesting idea.
So we need the Department of Political Money.
Listen, I still want to create this app that tracks political contributions and predicts votes based on who people take money from.
That's fine, but I still think that sponsorship jackets is the answer.
Right?
I want,
Speaking
I
of
want my
sponsors-
favorite politician to be dressed like a Formula One driver.
What deworming medicine are you having sponsor us now, Cameron?
So speaking of sponsors, we've got today we've got Saktra Angkor Peanut Brittle. Apparently, might help if you have the camera on. We'll see.
It's on.
Apparently.
It's just taking a minute. Remember, there's a 10-second lag.
Yeah. Oh, look, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks pretty good, though.
It is delicious. $3. Very
That American?
very, and
or-
also we have we have this
Clayton,
one
what
as
is
well.
IVM?
Yeah, we terms are hard for us, you know.
Oh, Cameron
Also,
lost
we
the
have this-
camera.
We also have this. which
We
is-
just realized that Cameron only buttons one shirt.
Yes.
One
One
button on
button.
his shirt.
One button on the shirt.
that is also true.
What the hell is
Because-
that?
Why am I even wearing a shirt?
I don't know, but that needs
Yeah,
to
that's
be on the
spicy.
junk food aisle in America.
Yes.
Whatever that
What-
logo is.
What is that?
But it's spicy.
It's so. All right, I'll do it again. So, this segment is sponsored by Kamez Spicy. Are you too lazy to make your own actual instant noodles and just want to eat them immediately? Well, then you can buy these.
Is that like pre-made or
only
you gotta pour
50
hot
cents.
water?
Ivermectin. Okay. I think, hey, Cameron, Clayton has a new sponsor for you. Adele's gonna love
I
it.
took ivermectin.
No.
I took ivermectin.
A couple texts up from that. Adele's going to
Wait,
love
hold
you.
on. Let's see here. Well, I mean, I don't know. Do they make fleshlights for gays, or is it
No,
Dude,
but
you missed it like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. There was a fucking I won't like the whole message is unreadable for a lot of reasons, but it ended with it's a plumper mag. Josephus.
Josephus, man? So, Clayton, what if you were to buy a fleshlight? Which would be the one you would buy?
listen, so there was a time where I was going to this party. It was a Christmas party. I just got out of the army.
Oh, good lord.
And I got to watch two gay guys fight over a fleshlight, and I never thought I'd see that in my life. Just like I watched two elderly women fight over a dildo.
Should hang out with Cameron more often.
Right? Apparently, this is right up his
You
alley.
guys in the same group or something?
Sometimes, you know, you never know.
You guys going to the same
Also
parties that
true.
we're not aware about?
That was one of my dad's friends too. That's the funny part.
Wow.
I will
No, but
say,
seriously, so, like, is there a specific gay porn star fleshlight that exists? Because I only know of like the girl ones. I'm very interested in this now. I can't give it up. So we need to know.
Well, so
We need to know. The
Bowman's gonna be
populace
doing
needs
some
to know what
googling when
this
he
is.
gets off. Now he's got the whole day to Google this.
Googling R&D, same thing.
Clayton sent you a bunch of messages.
What do you say?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Josephus is not any better.
Fucking,
Wow.
oh my God.
Wow. It's getting out of hand over there.
Yeah, it is. That
What-
comment section. Whew.
What am I looking at?
I think everyone else is asking the same question.
Oh my god, dude! I'm so glad Clayton joined us. This is like I've been waiting for that for quite a while, man.
And he got another banger right there.
Dude, he's one of the
Don't-
funniest people. you'll
Don't
ever meet.
worry, you.
Also, something about Clayton that you should know. This guy is one of the most ruthless motherfuckers I have ever met in my life. That's why him and he's like my best friend. It's like he dude, this guy, you almost would never even know he's gay right up until the moment you go to a gay club with him. And then he's the gayest motherfucker you've ever met. But when I say he's ruthless, I'm not joking. There was a point where he actually had a phone call with the CEO of Uber.
Okay.
For collections, because he was I'm not going to say the name of the company unless Clayton allows me, but dude, he literally told the SEO, or sorry, SEO. Jesus, that doesn't even. That's sorry. That's me. That's a Freudian slip about because I'm thinking about what I have to do later after I get off the podcast. But the CEO of fucking Uber, like literally, if you don't pay us tomorrow, your entire company will be gone, and you have no choice in the matter. And he was talking about how like the guy just literally was like, "Do you know who I am? I know everybody," and fucking blah 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 blah. And Clayton was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'll tell all my friends never to work with you, all the different CEOs." And he was like, "Yeah, it turns out we actually don't want you to work with us if your friends are fucking losers like you." So like he literally fucking told the CEO of Uber to go fuck himself and made sure that he paid. Like that's Clayton, bro. Like Clayton is a ruthless monster, the same as I am.
So
And
what
the
you
same as Lane
did
is.
was you replaced Scott.
Essentially. Well, I mean, he came around at the same time. I mean, Scott, dude, that guy's whole nother level of fucking, whoo boy. I mean, he's on the same level as you and me and Clayton, but yeah, Clayton's a
Dude, Scott is a different kind of ruthless than I am.
Clayton says you already said Uber, so it's already out. You said it like 3 times.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I came out the closet with that story.
Well, we're gonna lose you in about 8 minutes. It looks like my laptop's throwing a fit.
Oh no.
I will say that going back to the tripping balls thing, I don't sleep well, so I've tried a couple different sleeping remedies, and one of them was valerian root. And I had a dream where I was running and I felt pain in my leg, and I lifted up my pant leg, and maggots started falling out. And then looking at my leg, there was these green kind of, those hoses that kind of stretch apart and make those sounds when they crumble.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like going through my leg.
That's gross.
That was the closest thing I had to tripping out, and that was me taking valerian root to sleep on top of alcohol.
Oh well,
I mean, next week, I'll send you guys the pics. I sent some of them to Lane.
Oh, dude, the pics of his ankle are gross.
You haven't even, and I only sent him the ones from the first 4 days. It went on for a year.
Oh geez.
It literally ate me alive almost, dude. I've got pictures that are so insane. Like I literally look like in the pictures you guys will see this next week. I look like Freddy Krueger, like essentially. Like my legs look like beef jerky.
Wow.
It's insane. They look like the worst overcooked pizza you could ever imagine.
Dude, we're 1046. Let's just cut it when we lose Cameron.
Plan says horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, Clayton's the only reason that I beat it. Clayton actually fucking he sent me some money to pay for the doctors and shit. That's true.
Wasn't
The only
there
reason
a
I'm alive right now is because of him. Clayton's the only reason I'm alive right now.
was it years ago? I remember seeing a thing when it was an exposed infection like that. They could cure it in 100% oxygen tank.
It would make sense. I mean, especially if it's cold. But but dude, this stuff I don't even know how to explain what. So it's medical resistant staph infection. So MRSI.
It's gonna be a real problem. It's actually not probably gonna be a real problem. I think they've got a way around it now.
Well, I still haven't beat it yet, but I'm close.
Well, so there's a new
over a year later.
I want to say, listen, no medical background whatsoever, but I feel like they have used CRISPR to genetically alter a bacteria in order to attack these things that are resistant to antibiotics.
Well, I mean, that's a good idea. I mean, I imagine, the thing is, what's crazy is the thing that really started to heal me, realistically, was I went to bed one night and I looked at both my legs and I was like, I'm going to fucking die. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm healing.
You pulled a Pops Briscoe.
Christian's in chat.
Christian.
Yep. Oh, fuck, man. You just got in just at the very end.
Yeah, he just got home.
Well, hi, Christian.
What's the mystery there, Kev? The bottle.
Oh, yeah. Time for
We don't
mystery.
even know.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. Before we show it,
All right.
Do we have guesses?
Dude, you guys haven't even talked about the smokes.
I know we didn't even get into that. Okay, so for me, it's the Russells, but the Old Forester at a fourth the price is closer than I would have thought it been. It has some off notes. That Russell's is pretty much perfect.
Yes.
I think the mystery, it's better than you think it is. It tastes really nutty, but I think it's just because we're drinking it against in the cigars. Like, it could very easily be like a Benchmark or a Buffalo Trace barrel pick.
I was thinking that it might have been one of the incline picks.
Like the 1792?
Yeah, because I had this weird.
I didn't think it was high enough proof for that. Wait, that was a bib pick, though, huh?
Yeah.
It could be that.
Because it had this weird banana note, I thought, underlying it, and I wasn't 100% sure.
I think it's not bad. I think it's just bad next to these two whiskeys.
Yeah.
All right, so what's our guesses? I'm taking Incline 1792.
Well, that wasn't that was the apple pie one though.
Was
What
it?
was the apple pie one?
Yeah. 1792 from.
But there was a
Incline.
hint of apple in there underneath the youth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you're right. I think it's Buffalo Trace.
You think it's the barrel pick?
I think so.
And you?
That's as good a guess as any.
Yeah.
Like I think it probably
Or
it
it's
should
that.
be a $35 to $40 whiskey. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond that's like $70.
Yeah, I was like, it's either Buffalo Trace or.
But I didn't think it was nutty enough for that.
It says, "Girl, I give you that tastes nutty."
I fucking love Clayton, man.
All
That's
right.
why he's one of my best friends. in the
So
world, dude.
we have Wild Turkey Rare Breed, 116 proof. It did not taste 116 though.
That drank really low proof for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think because these are both of these are low
Well,
proof.
Russell's is the same thing. It's just better age.
Got it.
Like it's
Okay.
the same. They're both the same company. It's the same. It's the same mash bill. It's the same juice.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it's just hollow. Like the youth just comes out on the rare breed. A hint of bleach.
A hint of bleach, Jesus.
Oh,
wow.
Christian's gonna be here.
Oh, he's
Oh.
coming up. The 8th to the 13th. Nice.
Oh.
Fuck yeah, man. I hope you're on the podcast because I'd love to see what you look
I'll have
like.
to see what the day is, and then
On ski. Hey, Christian, I got a guy for you. If she's willing to like take a lesson, not through the ski resort. But he's fantastic. I've known him for almost 30 years. He's fantastic.
Wild Turkey will keep the ants from biting you. What Christian said.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe we got that wrong.
Yeah. I'll text him tomorrow and just give me the dates that she wants the lessons. I'll text him and see if he's available.
Oh, also, by the way, for the viewers out there, I will be making sure that the Holgren comes on in person
Oh boy.
in the cast.
Do you guys want Holdren on the podcast?
Listen, it's going to be entertaining either way. We just gotta. We might have to censor him a bit. Casey might have to be on the button pad.
We got 5 and we're done.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring. I talked to Lane. As long as you guys are okay with it, it seems like we got a vote on that. I think Holdren, because he's just down there. He'll come up. He smokes like a chimney, so he'll smoke cigars. I don't know if he drinks anymore.
And he's out.
All right.
Right in the middle of it.
Holdren's coming on. You guys got anything you want to close with?
Clayton says censored.
Right? That's fair. You guys good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, Clayton, join us anytime you want. Man, it was a blast. Christian, I'll set you up with a lesson. Josephus, you're amazing. Seriously, we love you guys. And if you liked everyone else, if you liked what we did, do YouTube things, and we'll see you next week.